Let's get out of here and die, maybe. Oh my god, it's so on fire. Alright, you're going this way now, bye-bye. Excuse me, excuse me. So do I just have two allies right now? Or do they show up in this screen together? They do show up in this screen together, that's kind of neat. That's neato. How much health? Not so great, huh? Okay. Let's just get some of these real quick for Pey'J. There you go. Now you got 4, and you've got kind of 4, and I've got that many. Hooray! Yeah, it's weird they don't show up on my health. Okay, they just take turns having a health bar. That's a weird system. Oh god, here they come. Okay. Oopsie. Now. Nope. Okay. Okay. A little awkward to fight them when they're so aware of your presence. I'll show you respect. Die. Stop throwing explosions at me. It's bad for my skin. Yes. Yes. It's everything I hoped it would be. Oh, I didn't mean to heal. Shit. There we go. Ow. Stop highlighting the heal. Why can't I unhighlight the heal? The only item on my entire character's bar or something? What camera? I didn't give you permission to just go on a trip. Ow. Thanks for your help, everybody. Oh, there it goes. He'll be fine. He'll walk it off.
What were you hoping for, huh? Everyone you ever loved is already dead. Your mother and father, the pig, and all those little brats. We've sucked them dry of all their fluids so that we could live longer.
Pleasant fellow.
He's looking for you. He's been on your trail for centuries. Your days are numbered. May the angels of darkness rise to glory.
What an asshole. Alright. Lol. Dead. 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 Oh man, that's embarrassing, isn't it? Anyway. Ooh. Right, because there's no... Wait, is that supposed to be water? Or fog? We're on the moon still, right? What is that down there?
We have to get back to the base. All the prisoners are still in there.
Now we can escape. Right, that was all just to get rid of the tractor beam.
It's up there. Is there someone else still alive?
No, there's no one left.
Oh, he's super dead. Kinda was expecting more of a boss fight. Guess not. Everybody in.
Jade.
Go, go, go. Ah. There we go. Now we're back to these controls. Okay. Where's my... There it is. Come here. But doing...
Landing strip in sight. Straight ahead.
Alright, let's go for it. Oh. Oh, I'm way up here. Where am I even? They're just teleporting me half the time.
They're sending in the cavalry.
Okay.
Maneuver not allowed. Collision risk high.
Y'all are gonna be in real big trouble because I got res powers where I can just lock on everything. When I say res, I'm referring to the video game res. I'm not referring to the fact that I also have resurrection powers. That's a coincidence pun.
support of the people of Hyllis, Jade.
Hey, they came all the way to space.
Those that are still inside.
And they look like they're flying Imperial cruisers or whatever that thing is from Star Wars that has the, yeah, it was like the Emperor's ship. The one that was just the 3 lines. Star Wars is weird. Yeah, I'm dealing with the baddies. Hang on. I like I just flew through the entire ship. He just flew through the building. That was impressive. There we go. They're coming for us. We have the support of the people.
Jade, I'm not feeling so hot. Do you have another Starbucks?
So here we go. Let's give this to you. Not you, jackass.
Here.
Are you guys gonna use those, or you know what? Fuck it. A triple elevator. They openly acknowledge that these are just bizarre 3-person elevators for some reason.
Companions.
It's a strange design, right? The Great Crypt. Not what you expect to hear about on the moon.
You have finally come back to me. You have served your master well, Johnny. You alone have brought the Hylians to me. They have followed you blindly.
Miss Jade?
Dorthgal Patan.
Ah! It's a trap! The controls aren't responding anymore.
You are not who you think you are. The pig has hidden your origins from me.
Jade, no! Don't listen to him!
You are the source of my powers, the instrument of my strength. They took you away in the hope of destroying me, but I have survived, feeding me with only the most miserable of sacrifices. They made you human, but you are not like them. You are mine, Johnny, and I am going to kill the human part of you.
Jade!
Johnny Dom Yandra!
Oh boy. Concerning origins. Did he just take him away from— I just gave him a healing item and 2 of my hearts. God damn it. I can't get away with anything in this. I don't even know how I managed to even find you to hit you, honestly. Ow. Ow. Got him. Probably not good for him. I'll take it. I don't photograph that. You don't want to see photographs of that? Got a woman back at home? Oh god. What? I'm fighting pages. I just spent upgrades on you. Ow. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm supposed to do. You're still giving me money, huh? Ba-doing. Send me more pigmen. Nope. Oh wow, he just went into space. Got up there. There we go. Bad framing. Just trying to photograph at the same time. Can I hit him? Nope. Shit, he got both of them. Oh, now he's gonna send those after me too. Who knew friends were so dangerous to have? Oh god. Okay. What? Oh god. Okay. I can just keep hitting you, it's easy. Peekaboo. A weird strategy. Okay. Ow! Rude. A little hard to aim up, admittedly. Ah! God damn, that was fast. What the? What's happening? He's like instantly hitting me. Oh, if you kind of attack the wrong direction, he instantly hits you, basically. Ow. God damn it. Ow. If I make the mistake of getting up while kind of hitting a button, like an attack button, he'll like instantly attack me, which is why it looks so weird. Ow. Ah, God damn it. That's how it works. I dodge away and he has to come down. There we go. Which one? Is he the monster or is he the man? Which part is him? Hi. I can't really... Alright. Well, this is not good news, because I can't knock them into the air now. Ow. Couldn't really see that. Okay, nope. Oh, god damn it. Oh, what? Yeah, that was the different attack. What? You hit me? God damn it, my dodges aren't working for me.
Suffering, Miss Jade. Abandon.
Come on, lock on. There we go.
Join us, Miss Jade.
Oh, you're also shooting me now. Okay. There we go. Ow, damn it. Okay, this is a bit much. There we go. Die, die, die. Nope, that's not working. Oh, okay. Oh, you reversed my controls. That was not very nice. Okay. That's fine, I can work with this. I can figure this out. Oh, we're gonna do this with reverse controls. Okay. Just glad we're on the same page. Ah! Why? Oh, right, I pressed the wrong direction. God damn it. Nah. I tried to attack him because he was still sitting there. Thought I was supposed to attack him, but then he teleported while I was attacking. Did I do a good? I take it we got him? That was a decent boss design. Hey! Bit of an abrupt ending. Definitely leave some questions unanswered. That might, at sometimes I think that speaks a little bit to why some people might demand sequels for games sometimes. A very, very abrupt end definitely contributes to that, I think. Alright. Yeah, I don't really have major complaints about the game. I have weird question mark moments, like, didn't autosave already exist when this game came out? Or checkpoints or whatever, and like, stuff like that. And really weird choices for, like, the fact that they have invert X and Y, but not invert X or Y is a really bizarre thing for any game, really. Even one from 2003. Because, I mean, that's two years after Halo 1, 1 year before Halo 2. Like, it's not in a vacuum. And also the really weird things were, like, they had a better way of controlling boats, but they only used it for one dungeon. And otherwise, they would go back and forth. And so, like, there's one dungeon where they unified the normal movement and the booster movement, but in exploration, booster movement and normal movement are different, but also during that one part of the game, they unified them again, but in the opposite direction, so that booster movement and non-booster movement worked the same way, but neither of them were turn left with left and turn right with right. They were like, it's weird. It's bizarre how like it keeps changing back and forth whenever they feel like and stuff like that. Other than that, like, it's really it's a cool little setting and characters and, like, aesthetic and world and stuff like that. Like, that's fun, and, you know, straightforward narrative of an alien invasion, and then the things that are supposed to keep you safe are actually also part of the alien invasion. Whoa! Not mind-blowing, but, you know, it's a video game narrative. It's fine. My main gripe, I think, is just that as a game I'm playing right now, there's not any particular element that is like the breakout strength of the game. It dabbles in a bunch of different things, and most of those things are passable. Like, the combat's fine, but it could be significantly better. In fact, the majority of the game you're just mashing the square non-stop until everything on the screen dies, and you pretty much get away with that until the end of the game. Like, you'll get mobbed by large groups of enemies and you just hit square a lot and the entire room will die. The most strategy being to press the direction to attack whichever enemy is glowing the most, because they're the closest one to attacking you back. But aside from that, really, you don't really think about how you fight most of the game. Unless perhaps if you're directly fighting the guards, which you're encouraged not to fight, I think. The boss fights are where the combat shines a bit more and you get a little more interesting, but a decent number of them just involve switching to shooting mode and shooting a weak spot, which is a little awkward because the shooting is a little awkward in general. Definitely find myself wishing you could, like, lock on and just shoot Devil May Cry style, as opposed to manually aiming around for the glowy weak spot. But, you know, those enemies are usually giving you plenty of time to attack that way, so it's fine. The final encounter was a good mix of mechanics. In fact, both of the final encounters, a lot of the game ended strongly. Like, you kind of get the best version of each bit of combat at the end there. Like, in fact, you didn't really even get to play it as a ship very much at all in the game, but they still ended that mechanic on a strong boss fight where you are evading some cool patterns and there's decent, neat stuff going on and you're, you know, engaged. The final melee boss fight had some decent things going on, and the twist of reversing the controls it's fine. There's also the big climactic. They actually did kind of come up with a photography climax, even with you breaking the whale out of its ice jail, so you could photograph it in space as kind of as close as you can really get to a final boss for photography purposes, because, you know, you just point at things and click on them most of the time. Even the final stealth encounter was the best stealth encounter, and they dabbled a little bit with the run away from the bad stuff scenes, but only 2 of them happened, and those actually would have been nice to see more of. Somewhat disappointingly large chunk of the game is spent on stealth sections that I don't think are particularly great, and there's a few races and driving segments that are a bit of fun, but there's only so much to go with that. It feels vaguely like a semi-outdated but competent like kart racer, like a Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, stuff like that. That's like fun to play. It's a little loose and a little weird with the controls. That just feels a little bit outdated, but not nearly as old as the rest of the game literally is, because this game's 15 years old and the racing parts did not feel like I was playing a 15-year-old game, so that was kind of neat. Don't have any major complaints. Probably would have been way cooler to play when it was new, because it seems like the strength, people have suggested that the strength might have been the fact that it managed to do all these things in one game, which probably was more neat in 2003, when games were probably a bit more specialized. But games have kind of become sandbox games and open world games and jack of all trades games on a regular basis lately, whereas back then it was probably much more rare for any game to be like that, besides like GTA, which is the evergreen example. Saints Row wouldn't be out for like another 3 years, I want to say, or 4 maybe. I think that was like a 2006 or 7 game or something. So this probably was more revolutionary at the time, whereas now it's like a little bog standard in a lot of ways. And so, since I'm not wowed by any of its jack of all trades nature, I'm instead I get fixated on the Zelda-ness of it, which it was probably always kind of obvious, but it's really obvious when you're not being distracted by any of the other elements of the game, because they're all kind of standard as opposed to being at the hot new shit. So I'm like, okay, they got the hearts from Zelda, they got the dungeons from Zelda, they got like this system from Zelda and that system from Zelda and that one and that one, and I'm like, okay, the list grows quickly, doesn't it? Even the awkward switch to first person to start fiddling over to shoot a thing in the middle of your game element. A lot of it's there. It's not a direct copy, it's very much an entry of its own. And I've heard that the Wolf game can be rather similar. Why can't I think of its name? Okami, there we go. I don't know why I always think of the name Ikaruga. Are they? No, they're not. They're not anagrams. It's definitely not that. So we saved the day. The orphans, I guess, are safe. Were they in the montage there? I saw a little goat kid, I think, or it might have been a goat adult. I don't know. I didn't see a lot of goat people with enough regularity to easily judge whether they were young or old. But yeah, neat game. Glad I finally know what it is and can appreciate that on its own grounds. And Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming out at some point. I don't actually know if they've announced a release date. I haven't even watched the trailer yet. I've seen screenshots. I've mostly seen the same screenshot over and over again. I've seen what looks like an African-American lady, so that's a bit of a surprise, because she does not look like Jade, so I'm curious about that, because she looks like the protagonist. And then I've seen an image of a monkey man, like a chimpanzee, I think. And so a lot of the YouTube thumbnails I see all the time are him smiling. I'm like, alright, so a new potential duo? Maybe we're still playing like an Iris spy with an animal companion character? Or maybe Iris isn't even a thing anymore. Maybe it's just a whole new world, because this game kind of did wrap up its story, potentially. Although this was like a big conflict that then spread here, according to the backstory of Pey'J, where he talked about how they were getting in political trouble and so on, and then the conflict spread to here. That suggests that maybe there's more to this than just this one base on the moon, unless we just happen to take care of it right here and there. I don't know. I think it's somewhat worth noting, and this might piss people off, but whatever. I think it's somewhat worth noting that people get weirdly, like, mad about, like, feminism or people discussing representation and stuff like that. Like, I want minority characters and I want female characters. Let's have a female protagonist and stuff like that, and all these other elements. And I'm like, this is like I don't know why people are mad, or why people feel the need to like recoil against that kind of stuff, like something's under attack. Because you know what the great cost is if like the people saying that stuff get their way? It's like the amazing catastrophe. is basically that this happens. We get this game. Oh boy, what a disaster. I was, you know, as a white man, I was very distracted by the lack of white men in this game. Only one of them, and he's a sidekick character, and he has to be rescued a few times. Man, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this one game that, like, is somewhat different than the other ones. I need to get back to the 50 games on my shelf about, like, a middle-aged white man protecting a daughter figure from an apocalypse or something like that. Like, let's just mine that forever instead of telling different stories with different characters and, you know, maximizing our variety so we can have maximum different games so that the entire medium could be better. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it if you're, like, mad at, like, a particular person because they said something mean on Twitter or something, but in general, I'm like, the weird recoil against diversity that I've been watching on the internet for years now has been really weird to watch because, like, what are you afraid of? That we'll get another game like Beyond Good and Evil? Is that tragedy? That, like, oh no. Oh, what's that? There's a pig? And there's you get to the freedom fighter group, and they're like a diverse group of different individuals, which is handy for being able to tell them apart when you don't spend that much time with them and stuff like that. You got a white guy, you got an Asian lady, you got a cat, a bunch of different things. You've got admittedly a Spanish AI that I can't honestly tell if he doesn't sound right. I don't know. I can't speak from experience, like, because I don't have firsthand cultural and language experience and everything. But the Spanish AI, I definitely got a sense that he was somebody just trying to read the lines that maybe didn't speak the language. That seems slightly odd. But anyway, I don't know. I guess we'll see if I kick the hornet's nest or not with whatever. But I don't know. I feel like this is all that could really, this is all that really happens. Middle-aged white men being protagonists is not, like, under attack, and even if we see less of it, it's not going to make the medium worse. Like, it's literally just better. I'm kind of tired of, like, every single time I buy a video game, the cover is like a dude standing in the same pose over and over again, and they all look similar. These Nathan Drake motherfuckers with, like, their short brown hair and their affable attitudes and their female or minority sidekicks and other shit. And I'm like, I mean, we could mix it up sometimes, you know? It's fine. It's fine. A lot of other mediums are already, like, ahead of us on this. It's cool. Also, if you're gonna argue against Roger Ebert about video games being an art form, then maybe they should, you know, represent a variety of perspectives and stuff like that, as opposed to being like a freaking, like, focus group tested, like, perfect generic protagonist every single time that's the same one because it's what's popular or whatever. Like, if you're gonna make the art, if you're one of the people that makes, like, the art form arguments and wants to keep proving Roger Ebert wrong even though he's dead already and he'll never hear your arguments, maybe fucking open the door to expression, because ideas being expressed is, like, the basis of art. Because one of the other things people were like, there's people with political agendas making video games. I'm like, that's literally what art is. That's what makes it art, is when there's a message and an agenda of some sort. It's basically the premise. Like, if you do a thing that expresses ideas or tells a story, that's because you have ideas you want to express. That's literally what that is. It's been a real weird, frustrating experience watching the internet and just, like, seeing these conversations happen. Hey, Pey'J, you're alive. It wasn't a trick or anything. I wasn't sure for a while. For a while there, I was like, are they going to take this back? I did give you a bunch of PA1s and you didn't use them. That was a bit frustrating. They just took both my allies away. I could have taken away everyone's PA1s. Wait, no, don't. What was that? No. Don't do that. Nah, don't do that to Pey'J. They're doing the thing. They're doing the thing. It's like Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Episode 2. Sorry, we never got a 3. Sorry, false alarm. Sorry if I freaked you out for a second there. It's like the end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2 where it's like cliffhanger about a character you probably kind of like that's related. Yeah, wait. I'm trying to remember what's her name looked like from Half-Life. Wow, it's been so long I'm forgetting her name too. I was trying to think of whether or not she had a similar design aesthetic to Jade or not, because that'd be really weird, a really weird connection if they both had like family problems right as a cliffhanger, and then people had to wait for a very long time for a sequel. Because so far we've been waiting 11 years for Half-Life 2 Episode 3 or Half-Life 3, which will never happen because Valve is never going to make a video game ever again, basically, because of how their company is structured. There is not conducive to even making video games. Whoops. On one hand, I'm like, maybe they should just give somebody else the property, but on the other hand, I'm like, what the fuck? Who do you trust with that? Because a lot of the people that would be fit to do that would fuck it up, and so on. But you think about those 11 years, people waited 15 years and counting for a Beyond Good and Evil 2. I had to double check during the credits. This game came out in 2003. 2003. God damn. It's been 15 years. And I haven't checked, but I don't think Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming out this year. It looks like ambitious and expensive or something. And so usually the announcement usually comes sooner than the year it comes out, but I don't know. No, not making any claims here. We'll see. I'll, let the facts be facts there, because I don't know what they are. But yeah, Beyond Good and Evil HD. So tomorrow, thanks for watching like always, guys. Tomorrow we'll be playing the next Patreon game, which has already been chosen by now, because I make a point to pre-record a big old chunk of the ending of each Patreon game so I know when the finale will be, and then the days in advance, like 5 days in advance or so, I set up the nominations. Then like 3 days in advance, I set up like the vote itself. And so for those that don't know, my Patreon supporters choose this time slot. The $15 nut people, they choose the game. Each of them chooses one game, and there's a big old list of games. And then 2 days later, I put the list out to everybody else that supports on Patreon, all the way down to the $1 people, and every single one of them gets to vote. And that's how the game. That's how the list is generated, and that's how the winner of the list is generated. The thing you saw in episode 1 of this playthrough and all the other ones. That's that whole process. Interested in seeing how that turns out, because I put out that thing where I explained my situation while Beyond Good and Evil was happening, and yeah, Patreon support soared through the roof. So we'll see how many nominations there are and how many votes there are. Might be a little overwhelming. I think there was a lot of new people in the nominating tier in particular, so we'll see how long that list gets. Should be some interesting things included in all that. If you want to get it in on that for next time, it's patreon.com/SebastianSB. The link in the description if you don't want to try to spell that shit. And if you want to Q&A, that's an ongoing thing. It was a coincidence. I didn't plan it this way, but it happened. I happened to launch a Q&A series right when our podcast was coming to a close. I didn't know that was going to happen. I knew Andrew was moving. I didn't know Andrew was going to suddenly and abruptly be like, okay, now I'm moving now. Like, because that's what happened. He very abruptly moved. He very abruptly announced his move, and so all of the YouTube stuff came to a close. We finished Virtue's Last Reward already. Don't worry about that. But no more podcast episodes for the foreseeable future. We might do online ones eventually, or maybe not, or maybe I'll get a new cast or something at some point. But I coincidentally started a podcast like a week earlier than that, kind of a podcast. It's a Q&A series on my Patreon. So anyone who wants to be back with that comfortable blanket of hearing me ramble about stuff nonstop without the video game, although there is also a video game. I'm just playing Diablo 2 in the background, which you can see on the screen, but I'm not talking about it at all. And I'm just answering questions from the Patreon people. So questions from the Patreon people for the Patreon people, all that shit. I guess I'm just closing this episode out with an ad. That'll go over well. talk about social issues and then end close with an ad. That's like I'm just trying. It's like I'm trying to make people hate me. Thanks for watching, like always, guys. Glad we could all go through this game together, and I'll see you guys next time.